Welcome into another episode of Auto Bets brought to you by Better and Green. F1 is back on this weekend. We have the Singapore Airlines Singapore Grand Prix for F1 Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern start time. And then we have the Bank of America Charlotte Roval for NASCAR going on Sunday as well. The final race in the 12-man playoff there in the NASCAR playoffs. So really good weekend of racing, guys. Really looking forward to it. Let's get into the Singapore Grand Prix, the plays that we were looking at there. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. If you've watched the show, you know I usually look for the McLaren double podium. And I was saying really anything under minus 300. You're getting a good price. You're getting minus 150 this week. Now, my fear here is ever since Lando Norris blew the engine about a month ago, McLaren has just really struggled. They can't really get out of their own way right now, and just have not looked as dominant as what you were hoping to kind of see throughout the end of the season, or really how dominant they were to begin the season all throughout. So, I do think this is a buy low spot on McLaren. You had the week off, back in action here in Singapore. Last year, you had Lando Norris win this race. Oscar Piastri came home in third. I think it's a good buy low spot. I'm a little bit worried just because of what we've seen in the last couple of races from McLaren, but at minus 150, it's tough to pass that price up. So I would still look for the McLaren double podium. I'm a little hesitant, but I think at that price, we're not laying 2-1. Or minus 200. We're not laying minus 225. At minus 150, I think it's worth a play still. If you do think McLaren is going to bounce back, I would also look at the under 6 second for the winning margin. If it is Piastri Norris 1-2, then it's likely going to be closer than 6 seconds. Now, last year, Norris did win by over 20 seconds in this race. And if McLaren doesn't finish double podium, then it probably does go closer to 15, 20-second winning margin. But I'm going to bank on buying low on McLaren in this spot here. I think McLaren does finish 1-2. As far as who wins it between Piastri and Norris, not sure. Going to give the nod to Piastri in this one. But, yeah, I do think it's a good buy low spot on McLaren double podium. So that's the way I would look for the Singapore Grand Prix in the F1 this weekend. Now let's move on to the Charlotte Roval here. 3 p.m. Eastern start time on Sunday. I mean, it's easy. It's rinse and repeat. It's Shane Van Gisbergen to win the race at any plus money you can get. I have locked this in at plus 120. You can still get plus 110s out there. Really anything plus price is the way I would look. Van Gisbergen, if you don't follow NASCAR closely, just dominates on the road courses. He got the win in Mexico, the Chicago Street Race, Sonoma, Watkins Glen, just dominates the field at these road courses. Now, I know the Roval isn't a true road course, but yeah, I completely expect Van Gisbergen to get the outright win by margin in this race here. I know he's not a playoff driver, but I don't think that matters at all. I think he's going to want to go for the road course, kind of sweep, if you will, this season. I think it's a big race. He finished here. He got off to a great start here last year. Ended up finishing 7th, but that was not in his team's best car. He didn't have the best equipment, didn't have the best pit crew. Now he does with 4 road course wins under his belt for the season. I think he's going to want to go out there and just dust his competition like he has been doing on road courses. I expect nothing less from SVG on Sunday. So at any plus money you can get, I think it's worth a stab at taking SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen, to win at the Charlotte Roval. Some placements that I am looking at, guys, I really do like this race quite a bit. For a top 10, if you can get AJ Allmendinger at anything close to plus money, minus 125, even minus 130, I would consider AJ Allmendinger for a top 10. He is kind of another road course ringer. He has a win at the Roval back in 2023. I'm looking at ESPN right now. He's minus 175, so I wouldn't play that. But maybe after practice and qualifying, if he doesn't qualify well, might be closer to minus 130. Minus 140 might be a little steep, but I do like to look at Allmendinger on the road courses, and if you can get him at a decent price, I like his top 10. Some guys that, I'm really drawn to this week: Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher. Both those guys, Briscoe currently minus 110, Chris Buescher even odds. It's kind of rinse and repeat with Buescher. There's not a track type that he is bad at. He's performed well on the road courses this season at even odds. Yeah, I think there are actually better guys to bet this week than Buescher, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if he comes home top 10. Chase Briscoe has been a road course ringer, surprisingly, this season. Has multiple top 10s on the road courses throughout the season. At minus 110, I think Briscoe is a good bet. Still in playoff contention. The win would go a long way for him, but even just finishing in the top 10, getting some points there, I think would be a nice finish for Chase Briscoe. And like I said, he's got the pedigree on the road courses this season, where I would trust him to finish in the top 10 here. So I think Briscoe minus 110, I think that's a pretty good price there on Briscoe. Let me check. I do have the average finish pulled up. Yeah, Briscoe's not performed well at the Roval. A current average finish position of 24.3. You do look at Buescher though. His average finish is 10 in 3 Gen 7 races. So kind of like Buescher. And then some longer shot guys that I am looking at as well. Really like Bubba Wallace. He has a 10.7 average finish. You can get him as high as 3-1 to finish in the top 10. He needs a big race to move on to the round of 8 playoffs. So I could see Bubba Wallace, having a really good race here. He's also performed surprisingly well at road courses this season. At 3-1, that's hard to pass up on Bubba Wallace. And Alex Bowman as well. You can get him plus 225 right now. I think Bowman's a great bet at a road course. He's kind of a hidden commodity at road courses as well. Again, not a playoff driver currently, but at plus 225, he's had success at the road courses. Believe he had an engine issue last year, finished dead last at the Roval, but had something go wrong last year. So I think at plus 225, he's worth a look as well. Ross Chastain, plus 140. I don't mind him whatsoever for a top 10 as well. So, guys, the official bet for the F1 race, we're going to go back to McLaren double podium minus 150. I think it's worth a sprinkle. For the NASCAR race, we're going SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen, to get the win at any plus price you can get. Again, I locked in plus 120. But a number of guys I like to finish top 10. Chase Briscoe, AJ Allmendinger, Chris Buescher, Ross Chastain, Bubba Wallace, and Alex Bowman. Obviously, don't bet all of those. Pick and choose which ones you're liking. I'm really drawn towards Bubba Wallace at his price, maybe Alex Bowman as well. Also, I do like Briscoe. So, guys, that's the way I'm looking at the races for this weekend. Let me know in the comments how you're looking at the F1 and NASCAR race. I appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great and profitable weekend, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Auto Bets, brought to you by Better and Green.